In this video, we are going to take a look at simplifying fractions. To simplify a fraction, we're going to divide the numerator, which is the top number, and the denominator, which is the bottom number, by the highest number or greatest common factor that can divide into both of those numbers evenly. So first, let's take a look at what factors are. Factors are a set of numbers multiplied to get another number. So the first one we're going to look at here is 24. So to get 24, I can take 1 multiplied by 24. I can take 2 multiplied by 12, 3 multiplied by 8, and 4 multiplied by 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24 are all factors of 24. Now, let's take a look at 40. So again, how can I get 40? Well, I can take 1 multiplied by 40, 2 multiplied by 20, and 4 multiplied by 10, and 5 multiplied by 8. So again, 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 10, 20, and 40 are all factors of 40. So when a set of numbers has the same factor, it is called a common factor. So again, here's my list of factors of 24 and my factors of 40. So we know that we've got 1 is a common factor because they both have it. We know that 2 is a common factor because they both have that one. And again, same as 4, same as 8. But all of the rest are different between the two of them, so they don't have those in common. So the common factors for 24 and 40 are 1, 2, 4, and 8. The greatest common factor is the largest factor that a set of numbers has in common. So again, here's my list of common factors of 24 and 40. So now I want to look at the greatest one, or what's the biggest one? Well, that happens to be 8. So the greatest common factor, or for short, we use the initials G, C, F of 24 and 40 is 8. So if we know that the greatest common factor of 24 and 40 is 8, then that means I can take and simplify my fraction of 24/40ths by taking the numerator and dividing it by 8 and taking the denominator and dividing it by 8. Because like we said before, we take the greatest common factor that which is a factor that goes into both evenly and we divide those numbers. So 24 divided by 8 gives me 3. And 40 divided by 8 gives me 5. So 24/40ths in simplest form is 3/5. So let's practice this with some of these fractions. So here I have 8/10. Well, I know that 8 and 10 are both even numbers, so I can divide by 2, divide by 2, and that gives me 4/5. So 8/10 simplified to its smallest size would be 4/5. Here I have 3/27. Well, I know that both are divisible by 3. So when I do that, I get 1/9. So 3/27 simplified down is 1/9. So here I have 28/63. Little bit bigger number, but if I think through what numbers go into both of those or what factors they have in common, the largest factor that they have in common is 7, and 28 divided by 7 is equal to 4, and 63 divided by 7 is 9. So 28/63 simplified down would be 4/9. Here I have 72/90. Again, couple of larger numbers. Well, when I look at this, I know that they are both even numbers, so I can divide both of them by 2. Now, this might not be the biggest number that they have in common, but it's going to help me get to maybe some numbers I'm a little bit more comfortable with or familiar with. So 72 divided by 2 is 36. 90 divided by 2 is 45. Well, I know that both 36 and 45 are divisible by 9. And so 36 divided by 9 is 4. And 45 divided by 9 is 5. Now, what I could have done if I'm looking for the greatest common factor was I'd have my 72 over 90. Well, if you notice, I divided by 2 and I divided by 9. So the largest number that goes into both of these would be 18 because 2 times 9 gives me 18. And when I divide both of them by 18, I would get 4 over 5. So again, 4/5 would be my 72/90 in the simplest form. So here I have 45/11. Well, this is an improper fraction because my numerator is larger than my denominator. So I could change this to a mixed number and then see if I could simplify it down any more. So again, to do that, I take 45 and divide it by 11. So when I work that problem out, 11 goes into 45 4 times, which gives me 44 because 4 times 11 is 44. That gives me 1 left over. So again, this is how many times it goes in there evenly, which would be 4. That's my whole number. This is what is left over. So that's my numerator over my original denominator. So I have 11. So I have 4 and 1/11. Well, 1 and 11 don't have any numbers that go into them the same amount. So this is my simplified answer. If I look here at 36 over 10, if I do the same thing, this is 36 divided by 10, because again, 36 larger than 10, improper fraction. So I set that up. Well, it can go in there 3 times, which gives me 30. And I subtract and I get 6. So again, whole number is 3 because that's how many times it goes in there evenly. Leftover was 6. So that's my numerator. And then my denominator stays the same, which is 10. But if you notice in this one, 6 and 10 in my fraction are both even numbers. So they are both divisible by 2. So if I take 6 divided by 2, that gives me 3. 10 divided by 2 gives me 5. So my simplified mixed number would be 3 and 3/5.